Okay, so this mini challenge for learning all of Unit 5, this is what you guys are going to need to do. It does not need to look exactly like mine, but there are going to be a couple things that you have to meet. One, the shapes that you use. You need to have four shapes that are the same, and you have a variable that you are holding for the shape size, okay? So you are positioning the shape using the reference to the shape size, as well as drawing the shape using a reference to the variable for the shape size, okay? You also are going to end up having a total of 4 variables that are doing the 4 variables for holding different color pieces. So we're going to color these shapes. Notice I don't have the stroke on them. Now, one of them, I am using a conditional. I am checking if the value for a color channel, so in this case the red channel, if that value is greater than 255, then I reset it to 0. So I am changing that color, though, in the draw using the postfix increment. So you guys are going to need to use that. Down here, I am using a postfix decrement, okay? But I am checking for a different value and saying, hey, if this value, I'm decreasing it once every frame. If this is less than 0, then reset it back to 255. My other shape, I have this blue one. This one is using the map function. So I'm mapping from the distance of the canvas, smallest being 0, all the way to the width of the canvas. I'm using the mouse X, and I'm mapping it from 0 to 255 for the square. So it can't get any brighter past this width, but it is full brightness here, full darkness here. This bottom one, I'm using a conditional to check the mouse position, okay? If my mouse is within the boundaries of this square, then I am drawing it, I'm changing the value of that, the fourth variable, from 0 to 255 and vice versa. So in my case, I'm having it black if I'm interacting with it and white if I'm not. You guys will need to do something similar to this. So you're going to have to build some conditionals, a complex conditional, to check if the mouse X is greater than the smallest value for that shape and less than the largest value for that shape. So I'm probably going to have to add what that original X position is plus the width to find that largest X value. And then I need to do it for the Y. So I need to find where that initial Y value is. It needs to be greater than that, and it needs to be less than the Y value plus the height. So if I had a position here, it would be different than if I was putting it here for how I'm setting it up, okay? So you're going to want to end up checking that. Now, for positioning these, you should be positioning them using the translate. So all of the positions of all the shapes should be at 0, 0, and the translate is being used to draw based off of each individual corner, okay? You can draw based off of the default of the top left for drawing all of your shapes. You just got to remember when we're drawing on the right side that we would have to subtract from this height to find that X. When we're down here, we have to subtract from the height down here to get the Y, and then subtract from the width to get the X. Here I would just draw 0 for the width, but then I'm going to have to subtract from the height to find that Y. Okay, you're going to draw these using the translate. Okay, and then we're going to shut off stroke. So that is the basics of this. Okay, we have 4 different shapes. They're all the same, but they each have an individual value that you're using for the color to change them to 4 different colors. They should not all be the same color. They should not all be in grayscale. Now, the additional piece that I want you to do is incorporate something that you have learned up to this point to do something cool with those 4 shapes. Okay, so we have a map. We're using the postfix increment, postfix decrement, or postfix increment, postfix decrement, and we're checking boundaries. As long as you are meeting those, you need to add something additional. So you could make them all rotate, make some of them rotate. You could do multiple things. Maybe you're having it scale based off a position. Maybe you're wanting to draw some additional shapes in front of it that are also interacting with different positions or values in the draw. Okay, I want to see something additional, something that you're applying from what you've already learned. All right, good luck, have fun.